everybody. Today we are talking tech. I am stepping you through the 3 systems that every entrepreneur needs in their business. And the kicker is that I'm going to show you how to do it on a shoestring budget. So if we're just meeting, hey, I'm Nicole, and for the last 6 years, I have been helping entrepreneurs market their business and streamline their systems. And I've worked with a lot of business owners, y'all. And when I start talking systems, their eyes start to glaze over, right? Or I can just see the anxiety growing. Like I can see them kind of going, oh, okay. Here's the thing. From the get-go, I want to establish that systems don't mean spending a lot of money on really complicated software programs. It does not mean that you need to hire somebody to run the systems for you. What a system is a tool to help you keep things running smoothly in your business. This can be with software. It can also be just with doing things the same way every time, which saves you time and money. So the number one system that you need in your business is to get real about your billing. You need to have some way to get money in and to track what is going out. All right. You need to first get real about how you're spending your time. So often I see business owners not really understanding how long it takes to do something. Right? They'll overextend themselves because they take on all this stuff thinking, oh, it'll just take me 5 minutes, and it takes them 20 or 30 or 60, right? A great way to get a feel for how long it takes you to do basic things in your business is by using a time tracker. And I know a lot of people have a strong reaction to this because they're very used to working in corporate environments where you're billing by the minute, where it's this very punitive thing. But really, a time tracker is just data you're keeping about the health of your business. And a free option you can use is called Toggle Track. And I'm linking to all of these systems in the description so they're easy for you to find. In our agency, I run a virtual support agency, and we use Toggle. It is a great way of understanding what's going on in your business. There is a paid option, but certainly if it's just you and you're just starting out, the free option will give you absolutely everything you need. The other thing that you need is you need a way to invoice people or to accept payment or to track where you're at in the process, right? You need a way to send proposals out and get contracts signed and all of that good stuff. And for most people, this means that you need to have a customer relationship management tool or a CRM. And there are lots of different CRM tools out there, but one of the ones that is the most accessible and easiest to use is called Dubsado. And if you are a service-based business, you've probably heard about Dubsado, but basically it brings everything under one roof. You can have somebody schedule an appointment with you. You can send them questionnaires, contracts, proposals. You can track where they're at in the process. You can invoice them and accept payment. You can set up recurring invoices. Basically, you can automate this whole process to save you so much time and energy. Now, Dubsado is not a free program. You do have to pay for it, but it is one of the first investments that I recommend you making in your business because this is so essential to the health of your business, is being able to do all of these processes really efficiently. And then, of course, you need to understand what's going out of your business and keep track of it all for your taxes, right? And QuickBooks is industry standard. There are lots of different programs and all of them work really well. I started out using QuickBooks Self-Employed, which was very easy to use. And I loved the fact that I was able to see exactly how much I needed to pay in quarterly taxes because they take all of your information, all of your expenses, all the income that comes in, and they calculate it for you. Okay, so there's like never a question of how much you need to pay because they calculate it for you. And I want to be clear, for all of these programs that I'm recommending, they're not giving me anything for this. This is not a paid endorsement. I'm literally just sharing them because I love them and because I use them on a daily basis. So the second system that you need in your business is you need to handle your marketing. And this is a big time suck for a lot of people. They don't really estimate the amount of time that it takes to market their business, and then they get frustrated because they feel like they're spending all of their time marketing their business. The place to start with this is having a content calendar. Starting with the promotion that you have and reverse engineering it so that you are tailoring all of your content around what you want to offer. This is easily done in a Google Doc or a Word doc. You do not have to have a fancy template. It doesn't have to look really fancy. It just needs to be functional and organized in a way that you're going to understand it. You also need to be able to create beautiful graphics for your social media posts. And this does not mean that you have to hire a graphic designer. I know a lot of people have overwhelm. If you're not a super creative person, thinking about creating social media graphics can feel really overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. I use Canva. Feel like every week they're adding on new things. It's really amazing, but it is a graphic design tool. There is a free option. Now, I use the pro version. I love it. I think it's a great investment, to be honest, because you get to use all of the different assets that they have in there. But you can certainly, when you're starting out, use the free version. Create yourself some social media templates. Make sure you're using your brand and colors so it all looks beautiful and on brand. But use a system that helps you make it all look pretty, but also helps you do so efficiently. And the final piece that you need to streamline your marketing is you really need to use a social media scheduling tool. It is not okay to just post what you want when you feel like it, right? Because you're going to find that other things take up your time, especially if you're not in love with marketing and you'd rather just be over serving your clients or creating new products. You need to be able to have some way to batch your content or create a lot of content in a little amount of time. So if you set aside 2 hours on your calendar to create all the marketing content you need for the next week, if you're using a social media scheduling tool, something like Buffer has a great free plan. If you're using Buffer to schedule your social media, then you can just go in those 2 hours, create the graphics, put them with your captions, get it ready to go, and then you don't have to think about it for another week, right? It's a really great way to make sure you're doing what you need to do, but to get it done fast and to move on. So the third system that every entrepreneur needs in their business is they need a project management tool, okay? Too often, I walk into a business that's working with our virtual support agency, and it's like death by email, right? There are endless email threads. Some stuff is in a Google Drive, some stuff is in Dropbox. You've got notes in a notebook. You have a calendar that may or may not be synced with your scheduling tool. Like, it's a mess. And the truth is that if you have a project management system in place, it can be the home for all of that, so it's easy to find. A lot of people use a tool like Trello. It's free. Trello is free, and it's great when you're just starting out. If you're working with a team, if you've got other people who are working on projects with you, I recommend ClickUp, which again has a great free option. Either way, you really need to be tracking deadlines. Like, even if it's something that it doesn't matter when you get it done, which is so often the case with like our marketing or things like that, having a deadline keeps you accountable. And these project management tools, when you set the deadline, they will send you an email and say, hey, where are you at with this? It's overdue, right? It creates that sense of urgency so that you get things done. Doesn't have to be super complicated, but it's a way to track it all in one place so you don't waste a whole lot of time trying to find things when you could just be getting stuff done. I do a lot with helping entrepreneurs with chronic illness run the business that works for them. And if you are a Spooniepreneur, you can go in the description and find my guide to the systems that I think every Spoonie entrepreneur needs, which is a little bit different than what I talked about here. Click the link in the description, and if you loved this video, here are some related videos that you might like.